Hello, everyone. Ben here, and welcome to a live stream. Um, and I decided that today I'm going to be doing an impromptu live stream instead of election night for the honest to goodness reason that I did not prepare for an election night in the slightest. In fact, to say that I was prepared is an understatement. So yeah, I swear next time I will actually prepare an election night. Anyway, before I go into actually talking about elections and all that, before I go into talking about elections and all that, nice flannel. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much for the nice flannel comment. Anyway, so I wanted to say that I actually got a new purchase this week. So let me actually unload it because that's probably a smart idea. There we go. That round. So I actually purchased this. It's a Rock Island Armory. Let's make sure I'm not showing the serial number. Anyway, a Rock Island Armory 1911. I decided to purchase this because I saw it for a good deal at the gun store. I was looking to purchase a new firearm anyway because I decided that was a good idea. Why did I decide that was a good idea? Well, I was actually honestly planning on purchasing one, not a 1911 specifically, or Rock Island 1911. But I was planning on purchasing a new firearm anyway. But I wasn't sure if I was going to be purchasing a handgun or what. So yeah, I saw this for a very good deal, and I decided, you know what? Shoot, I was planning on dropping $1,000, and I'm getting this for less than 500. So yeah, I said, screw it, we're getting it. And it shoots really nice, and yeah, I really like my 1911s. Just a minute. I'm setting something up because we're going to be talking about what I plan to do my election night on, which for once wasn't a presidential election. There we go. And I'm going to give you a link to. Here we go. Ooh, hard to get a firearm in Richmond. Thank God I don't live in Richmond. I live in Southwest Virginia, and getting a firearm is way too easy. As a matter of fact, actually, tomorrow I'm going to be going to a gun show in Roanoke, which I probably shouldn't say that, but whatever. Anyway, so we're going to be talking about the gubernatorial elections. And any state that wasn't solid for either party, we are putting into this map. So we're going to go ahead and go there. So let's start with the ones that should be solid. Illinois should be a guarantee for the Democrats. Here we go. We're going to go there. Illinois should be a guarantee for the Democrats. McCaskill versus Hawley. I expect Hawley to win that one. Corey Stewart was there recently for a shoot and greet. Ooh, dang, I missed him. I really actually wanted to meet Corey Stewart because I wanted to see if I was actually going to vote for him over Tim Kaine, because I'm not going to vote for Tim Kaine. I really hope there's a libertarian candidate because I don't like Corey Stewart. I think he's a Trump clone, but one who somehow lacks the tact of Trump. Oklahoma should be solid. And this is tough. Honestly, that Tennessee should be solid, just like Georgia should be solid, to be quite honest with you. Maybe we'll look at the Senate race as I have it so far. Anyway, Alaska should be. That's tough. There's an incumbent independent, but I don't know how the independent's going to do because the independent is technically the Democrat in Alaska. I'll get to Vermont in a bit. Vermont, I'm giving it to Republican because somehow the Republican is hyper popular in Vermont. I'm going to give it as a likely Republican. Same with Massachusetts. Both of their Republican governors are extremely popular. I'm also going to leave New Hampshire as a lean Republican state just because, if I remember correctly, Sununu is popular there, but that could just be bad recollection or the vermouth with a twist that I had earlier tonight. How about Florida? Rick Scott's gone and probably to run for the Senate, and I don't expect the Republicans to hold that seat. I'm going to give that one to the Democrats. Larry Hogan should remain governor in Maryland. I'm going to say the Republicans managed to hold Ohio. Same thing with Kansas. I really don't think Kansas is going to flip. Oregon should remain in Democrat hands by a fairly wide margin. Nevada should go to the Democrats. Colorado will remain with the Democrats. New Mexico will more than likely flip. If the Democrats in Alaska nominate the incumbent governor, I expect the Republicans to win. If they nominate someone else, I expect the independent to win. So I'm actually going to give this one to the Republicans. Iowa should remain with the Republicans. I don't see how it doesn't. Same thing with Wisconsin. I know a lot of people are saying Scott Walker should be gone, but Scott Walker just has a tendency to win elections. And I know he hasn't had a Republican he hasn't had an election with a Republican in the White House, but I just personally don't see how he loses this election. Adam Laxalt in Nevada, maybe. Maybe. I could see that, but I think it's just an uphill battle for most Republicans in swing states. Exceptions include Scott Walker. Scott Walker is just, I think he's the lone exception. I'm gonna keep Minnesota in Democrat hands. Michigan should go to the Democrats. Pennsylvania will remain with the Democrats. Yeah. Arizona will be narrow, but I expect it to remain with the Republicans. Now we get to the Northeast, which is actually fairly interesting for once. It isn't just a gimme election. It isn't one of those where I think Rhode Island, even though it has a fairly unpopular Democrat governor, should remain with the Democrats. Connecticut, I'm actually still believing that that seat is going to flip and that Connecticut will go to the Republicans. Liberal Republicans do extremely well in the Northeast, from what I've been able to tell. However, I think Maine will go flip to the Democrats because Paul LePage is not popular in the slightest up there. So, yeah, I fully expect well, okay, I expect the Democrats to flip this seat, but if we look at the current map, Democrats gain a net of 16 to 21. That would be what? Republicans lose only 4 seats. Democrats gain 5. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to flip to show you what my Senate map currently looks like. And I've legit only got one election to cover, which I'll be covering on Monday, which is Florida, Bill Nelson versus likely Rick Scott, but I'm not entirely sure. And if I wanted to go with did I say general? If I wanted to go generic Republicans, I'd have Tester losing, I'd have Donnelly losing, I'd actually have Manchin losing. But I will go ahead and downgrade Manchin to a lean, which is not where I expected it to be. And just because he's the incumbent, I'm going to keep Donnelly as a lean. His seat is a lean for him. Every other seat I'm still confident in for the most part. And again, I'm going to review all of these seats that are in, either the pink or the light shades of blue. And that, yes, that includes Tammy Baldwin, though I don't understand why her seat is considered a lean. At least for the Senate, I wouldn't be too surprised, and I think the Democrats should be considered favored to win that seat, though it's very much a toss-up. But the only real sure bet seat that I expect to flip is actually I expect 2 to flip for sure that we have candidates for North Dakota and Missouri. If you're gonna bet money, bet on Missouri. Don't bet on any other seat, and bet on the Republican Josh Hawley. Because that is the only true guarantee, in my opinion. And screw it, since we're on live stream, let's go to the House. Why not? And let's go state by state. Let's reset the map and look at all the toss-ups. Let's go to Alabama. And it's all solid. Terrific. Well, this isn't too much as a surprise. Alaska has 1 at-large seat, so not really that surprising. Let's look at Arizona. And hey, we've got a few seats here. So let's zoom in on Phoenix. And, I don't really see anything too. Oh, yeah. Okay. Martha McSally, this seat's going to flip because she's going to run for Senate. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Well, we're looking at that. Currently, what do the Republicans currently have? 238. Okay. So whoa. Okay, cool. Let's go to Arkansas, which is pretty solid. California. Okay, let's look at the LA area. You know what? I'm going to keep it with the incumbent in all cases. Let's go up to San Fran area. And yeah, let's keep it with the incumbent. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Colorado. If it's a toss-up, I'm just going to keep it with the incumbent. Connecticut, they should be all Democrat. Yeah, very much. Delaware only has one seat. Florida has a toss-up seat. Let's go to Miami. And I expect that one to remain. The Cuban population will put him over the top. Orlando. By the way, the Republicans should be expected to lose seats, and that means Democrats should be expected to gain seats. That's just the nature of House elections, especially with an incumbent of one or the other party. Yeah, okay, that's not going to change at all. Illinois. I could see that one flipping, but I'm going to leave it with Republicans. That is a very Republican area anyway. And oh, look, Chicago is all Democrat. Who would have guessed? Let's go to Indiana, where that's not really much of a surprise. Iowa, there's a district. I could see him keeping that seat. Let's go to Kansas. And that's not going to change. I don't know why they even showed two of those as lean. Kentucky, same thing. I'm not even going to bother with that state. Louisiana, yep, that's to be expected. Maine, yeah, okay, that's to be expected. Let's look at Maryland. And the Baltimore area, yeah, that's not going to change. Massachusetts, that's all Democrat. That should be expected. Let's go to Michigan. Why not, right? And look at the Detroit area. I'm actually going to give this one to the Democrats. Normally, I would favor the Republicans, but this is a swing state in an election and a midterm year with a Republican president, and that should be expected to flip. However, Minnesota has been swinging, though. Now, I'm going to leave those with the incumbent. I'm going to flip the first district, and the 8th district I'll leave with the Republicans or the Democrats. But I'm going to lean all those. I think that's fair. Look at Mississippi. Nothing will change. Missouri. Nothing changes. Gerrymandering. You got to love it. Montana only has one district, which is expected to go to the Republicans. Nebraska has 3. Omaha will stay with the Republicans. I really don't see why people think it will flip. At least not yet. Nevada has a few districts. That's not going to change. New Hampshire has 2 districts. Yeah, I don't expect this one. Whoa, sorry about that. I don't expect this one to change. Yeah, if Sheriff Arpaio is the nominee in Arizona, that seat is going blue. Really, we're on to New Jersey? If I remember correctly, that guy's retiring. I expect that one to go blue. In Mexico, that's not going to change. New York, no changes in seat. Staten Island actually has its own congressional district. Nice. Okay, we go to all of New York. I can see those remaining with the Republicans. It's New York, though. I can see why they're considered toss-up. I'll give one to the Democrats and leave one with the Republicans. I think that's fair. Look at North Carolina, the most gerrymandered state in the United States. Nothing will change. Wait, North Dakota only has one seat. Why am I bothering with North Dakota? Ohio, no, nothing is considered a toss-up. That is peculiar, but okay. Well, that's pretty gerrymandered if we look at this. Look at the Cleveland area. Jesus. All right. Oklahoma, I believe everything is considered heavy GOP. Yeah, exactly. Oregon, yep, that's to be expected. Pennsylvania, hey, they're toss-up districts. They're toss-up districts. Yeah, no, that's probably going to go to the Democrats. I actually expect this one to go to Democrats. This one will stay with the Republicans. This one probably will stay with the Republicans. Yeah, this is such a weird. Yeah, it's really weird. Anyway, Rhode Island has 2 districts. Both will stay with the Democrats. South Carolina is, well, that was to be expected. South Dakota, only 1 district will go to the Republicans. Let's look at Tennessee. That won't change. And Texas, the state should have actual contested districts, you would expect. Sessions, I don't really see Sessions losing. Houston, Culberson could lose, but I don't see it happening. Again, it's gerrymandered. And Central Texas, Will Hurd could actually lose. And he has a very large district to defend. I could see him losing, but he's got a lot of rural Texas. I'm going to lean it towards him because I think that's the correct decision. Utah, I don't think anything's contested. Yeah, exactly. Vermont will go to the Democrats. Yeah, that's not going to change. By the way, I'm probably going to volunteer for Morgan Griffith's campaign. 5 is Tom Garrett. 2, Scott Taylor, Robert Scott. Okay. This is a tough one. Barbara Comstock's district. She was pretty popular, at least when I was up there, and she kind of fits that Northern Virginia Republican mold. But at the same time, that's an area that's been going more and more to the Democrats and more progressive. So I am going to give her district to the Democrats. I am going to say she's going to lose. Go down. Washington, if I believe. Oh, wow, it actually has. We're going to keep that with the Republicans. West Virginia, not even bother looking at that. Everything is the same. Wisconsin, yeah, I expect all of this to. Goodness gracious, a guy in Congress since the 70s? Ugh. Oh my goodness gracious. Yikes. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And then Wyoming only has 1 district. And the most boring state. So, Hey, let's look at a historical election or two, just to laugh. Let's go 1848, because why not? Ugh. You can tell I'm bored. Well, I'm not bored, I'm just, eh. Actually, yes. William Henry Harrison won a ton of states. Because why not? I don't see why we shouldn't look at these, because we can learn something. For example, New York and Pennsylvania had a lot more power than they do now. Vermont, Maine, Massachusetts, Rhode Island had the same with Delaware, Maryland, Jersey and Connecticut had different representation. Virginia had a ton more votes. Sorry about that. McCain versus Gore. Sure, why not? Let's laugh a little bit. So let's get rid of everything first. Now, some of the things we have to remember about this election were how close some of these states actually were. For example, Oregon was extremely close. And so were some of these other states. So first thing we're going to do is fill in DC. Bush would get Texas. That would go Democrat. That would go Republican. And at the time, these states were pretty competitive. I'm not sure if Bush would be able to convince Tennessee voters and also West Virginia voters to flip. I think he'd be able to pick up Florida as a swing state just because, but he'd make up gains in the Southwest because he is from the Southwest. Tennessee is a much different question. I'm going to keep Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan. Wisconsin was pretty competitive, actually. New York, all of these states. I'm actually going to give New Hampshire to McCain just because Bush won it. So McCain is going to need, we're also going to give California. So these were some of the closest states. The states that I've left, the 6 states that I've left open, were the closest states and were some of the closest states in 2000. I'm going to give Gore his home state of Tennessee. I'm also going to give him West Virginia. I'm not going to give him Iowa, though. I think McCain would be able to pick up Iowa. I don't think he'd pick up Pennsylvania or Oregon. Yeah. I don't think he'd pick up Wisconsin either. And Gore would win just narrowly over McCain. So I think this would be a fair assumption, and God help us if this actually happened. As we all know that McCain was a bit of, or not McCain, but Gore is a bit of a Fruit Loop in my opinion, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, let's go ahead and look. Yeah, of course, Connor Lamb is the apparent winner. Well, it's been 3 days. I think they've declared him the winner. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think that's going to change in the slightest. Yeah, okay. Let's actually go to 538. Why not, right? Because I actually like to use this. Trump is a Democrat versus Bush. Oh, God. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Ipsos is weird. Rasmussen, yeah, that's to be expected. Okay. Now let's look at the congressional ballot. Really, they actually just updated that one with about a 9 point, a little bit under 9 points, but yeah, okay, that makes sense. Fine. No. Let's just play this game once or not. Okay, screw that. Historical elections. 2004. You said with Trump as a Democrat versus Bush? Well, I don't think much would honestly change. Maybe. Oh, Ohio would change it. Maybe Iowa and New Mexico would change, but I don't really expect I wouldn't expect the entire map to change. Truth be told, it's just I just don't see that being something that would change all that much. Anyway, guys, I need to get some rest. I have a long drive tomorrow and got a lot of stuff to do. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Peace. Need to get some rest.